Hello student, today we are going to see the topic that is our gravitational redshift or shift in the spectral line. So we see this topic, that is the topic is explained about the redshift in the spectrum. That means as we know that our spectrum is consist of the colors and the waves which has a frequency. The visible spectrum is our Vibgyor color. This is our Vibgyor color, that is the colors in a rainbow. So colors in the rainbow are the only which we can visible, and before that we have the UV light rays, then here X-rays or gamma rays that we cannot see by open eye, right? Gamma rays, X-rays are not seen by our open eyes. UV light also. This is our visible spectrum. Visible spectrum means our Vibgyor spectrum. Okay, that is the colors in the rainbow. And after that we have the infrared light and the radio waves. So here the wavelength is going to be increased in this direction. Wavelength is increasing. Wavelength is increasing in this direction. That is, it is very small wavelength, then it's going to be increased. And in the colors of the Vibgyor, the red color has very large wavelength. That is, it has a maximum wavelength. So the gravitational redshift says that due to the gravitational field of the sun, gravitational field of the sun is given by the Schwarzschild exterior solution. As we know previously, Schwarzschild exterior solution gives us the gravitational field of sun, right? So due to this gravitational field of the sun, our spectrum, that is the light rays, this is our sun, okay, and here is our earth. So when the light rays is coming from this sun and when it is emitted and received by the observer on the earth, then the wavelength is going to be increased. That is, this wavelength is going to be increases when it reach to the earth. So what it means that this wavelength is increases means what? When the light particles, that is photons, emitted from the sun, it loses its energy, means that it loses its frequency. And due to the loosening of the frequency, when the frequency is smaller, the wavelength is larger. So when the frequencies get reduces, the wavelength is increases, and hence due to that, when this light comes from the sun, its wavelength get increases, and we see that the color, that is we see the red color will be appear most in this light rays, and therefore we say that because the red color has a larger wavelength, and therefore we say that there is a shift in the spectral line. That is, this colors, Vibgyor color, get shifted to the red lines and increase in the wavelength, and the color red has a larger wavelength. So we see the observer on the earth sees that there is an increase in a wavelength and the red color most in the sky, and hence we discuss here now the gravitational redshift or the shift in a spectral line, and we solve mathematically. So to understand this, we require some of the background concepts that we have learned previously. So here is the information that we required for understanding the test, that is the gravitational redshift, which is one of the classical tests of the general relativity. And this is due to the curved space-time of the sun. Now here first we require the relation between the proper time and depending on that we calculate the redshift. So what is meant by the proper time? The time recorded by a clock moving with a body is the proper time for the body. As we have seen in the first unit that the time is slow down in general relativity. That is, clock will be slow down in general relativity, and this clock is nothing but the atomic clock that studied in the quantum mechanics. And because of that, if this clock is fitted on the moving body, then the time recorded on that clock is going to be slowed down. Okay, and that time we called as the proper time for that body. And the second thing we require is that here we take the proper time, here we take as ds, and also we require the Schwarzschild space time. The Schwarzschild space time is nothing but the gravitational field of the sun, and therefore we require that to calculate the relation between proper time and the coordinate time dt. Okay, and which is calculated by substituting r, theta and phi, that is the radial coordinate. R, theta and phi equals to constant. We substitute this value in the Schwarzschild solution to get the relation between, this is our coordinate time, and dt is our, this is our, ds is our proper time and dt is our coordinate time. That is, we treat here ds as a proper time, which is nothing but the time recorded by the moving clock. And the third, we require the radial velocity. And radial velocity means when the light particle, as here the light particle is this is our sun, and the light particle is traveling towards the earth. Okay, so it is traveling in a radial direction, and hence we require that when it is travel in a radial direction, we have, that is, theta direction and phi direction will be equals to 0. So we substitute theta equals to 0, that is, we can say that d theta equals to d phi equals to 0. So for the radial direction or radial velocity, to calculate the radial velocity, we require that d theta and d phi equals to 0, and we substitute this in the Schwarzschild X-ray solution to get the value that dr upon dt equals to 1 minus twice m upon r. Also, as the light rays is coming from the sun, so we require the number of light rays coming from the sun. Okay, so if we suppose n is the number of light rays coming, that is emitted from the sun, and then it is reaches to the earth. So the number of light rays emitted from the sun is given by nu into ds, where nu is the frequency of the light, that is how much frequency the light waves are emitting, and ds is the time interval between that is proper time interval, that is at time s1 and s2 were recorded, then difference between that is our ds. So this ds is nothing but our proper time interval. Okay, so we take the number of waves emitted from the sun and the time interval when it is reaches to the earth, we calculate that and compare it with their wavelength, so that we get the shift, that is, we calculate the shift in the wavelength, and which is given by, as nu is the frequency and the reciprocal of the frequency is our wavelength, right? So we calculate the change in frequency upon the change in, that is, change in frequency upon its frequency. So we get this, we give the ratio gives the shift, that is the ratio of this will gives us the shift in the spectral line. If it is positive, then we get the red shift, and when it is negative, we get the violet shift. Okay, that is when it is lesser than 0, we get the violet shift. But here we have to learn about the red shift. So when this ratio is greater than 0, that is shift in the, that is change in frequency upon the original value of the frequency, will gives us the red shift. Okay, so let's see the mathematical formulation. For this, we take the n number of waves were emitted from the sun surface from the stationary atom, and it will be received by the earth, it will be seen by an observer on the earth. Okay, so we let n waves were emitted by the sun with the frequency nu at the proper time ds, and the proper time taken here as ds from this atom on the surface of the sun. That is the proper time interval ds from the sun, from the atom on the sun surface. Okay, so the number of waves is given by this, that is frequency into the proper time. So we write n is equals to nu ds, and we give this as a equation number 1. Now n is the number of waves emitting from the sun, and earth receive the same n number of waves, and therefore but with a different frequency. That is this wavelength, that is this light rays is emitted with the frequency nu, and it is received by the frequency nu dash with a proper time ds dash. So earth receive the n waves with a different frequency nu dash and with a different proper time ds dash. So we write n is equals to nu dash ds dash. Okay, and we give this as a equation number 2. Now as both number of waves are equal, that is left hand side is equal, therefore right hand side is equal, and we write nu ds is equals to nu dash ds dash. We give this as a equation number 3. Now as we have saying that there is a relation between the proper time and the coordinate time, and which is obtained by substituting r, theta and phi equals to constant. That is the relation between coordinate time and corresponding proper time ds is obtained from the Schwarzschild exterior solution. From the Schwarzschild exterior solution by substituting dr equal to d theta equal to d phi equal to 0. That is r, theta and phi equals to constant, therefore dr, d theta and d phi equals to 0, and r equals to capital R, that is at the radius of the sun, where capital R is the radius of the sun. So the time interval, that is the relation between this, is given by this. So we substitute this in the Schwarzschild exterior solution. So the Schwarzschild exterior solution, that the Schwarzschild exterior solution is given by ds square equals to -1 minus twice m upon r, its inverse dr square minus r square in bracket d theta square plus sine square theta d phi square plus 1 minus twice m upon r dt square. Okay, so this is the equation of our Schwarzschild exterior solution. Now we substitute here dr equals to 0, d theta equals to 0 and d phi equals to 0. Therefore that is dr equals to d theta equals to d phi equals to 0 and r equals to the radius of the sun. Then the above equation implies, that is the Schwarzschild exterior solution gives us ds square is equals to, this term is 0, this term is 0, and this is equals to 0. Therefore we have only this term. So 1 minus twice m and small r equals to capital R, so twice m upon capital R into dt square. Now taking the square root on both sides, we get ds is equals to square root of 1 minus twice m upon capital R dt, and we give this as a equation number 5. So from this we get the relation between ds and dt, that is proper time and the coordinate time. Now as the light waves are traveling in the radial velocity, that is light rays are traveling in the radial direction, so we calculate the radial velocity. And for the radial velocity, we require that for radial velocity we have ds equals to 0, comma d theta equals to d phi equal to 0. That is the proper time interval is 0, and d theta d phi equals to 0. We substitute this in equation 4. Therefore, equation 4 implies 0 is equals to 1 minus twice m upon r, its inverse, that is this term ds equals to 0. D theta and d phi also equals to 0. So we have 1 minus twice m upon r inverse dr square minus this term 1 minus twice m upon r into ds, that is plus 1 minus twice m upon r into dt square. Here it is minus sign, okay. So this sign, here it is square. This term taking to this side, we get 1 minus twice m upon r, its inverse dr square equal to this term as it is here. So 1 minus twice m upon r dt square. Now we have dr square equals to, if we multiply this by 1 minus twice m upon r, so this is minus 1, that is this is in the reciprocal. So when we multiply 1 minus twice m upon r to this bracket, so this inverse and 1 minus twice m upon r get cancelled, okay. Or we can take this to this side, therefore its inverse become, that is this is in the denominator because it is inverse, so it's going to be numerator, and therefore it is multiplied to 1 minus twice m upon r. So this is equals to 1 minus twice m upon r, its square into dt square. Now we can take the square root on both sides. So taking square root, this implies dr is equals to plus minus 1 minus twice m upon r into dt, okay. So this is, here it is plus minus. Now we can take the only positive sign because the distance is increasing, because it is leaving from sun and going towards the earth, therefore the distance is increasing, that is r is increasing, therefore we take the plus sign here. Thus we have dr upon dt is equals to 1 minus twice m upon r. We are taking the plus sign of one plus sign, and we are taking dr upon dt. So dr upon dt is equals to this, and here m is the mass of the sun, so it is independent. Here the time coordinate is not present, okay. So dr upon dt is our radial velocity, and radial velocity is not depend on the coordinate time t because it is independent of t. So we write here as this is independent of coordinate time, that is the radial velocity is independent of the coordinate time, and hence because of that, when the light rays, this is our sun is here, okay. So this is sun, and when the light rays is coming from this is the first light rays, then there is come second light rays, and it is, this is our earth, okay. So when it reached to the earth, so when the first light rays come, the time is t1, when the second light rays come, then the time is t2, and this, the interval dt is nothing but our t2 minus t1. Similarly ds is our proper time. So the proper time when the light rays is emitted from the earth is different, and when it reached to the earth, the proper time is ds dash. But as we are saying here that dr upon dt, that is radial velocity, is independent of coordinate time, therefore the time interval, that is coordinate time dt, is equals to the proper time ds dash when the light rays is received by the observer on the earth. So when the light rays is received by the observer on the earth, so coordinate time and the proper time are equivalent because of this condition that the radial velocity is independent of the coordinate time. So between the successive, what we call this, first light waves releases, then second is releases, that is there is a success between the successive light rays, the coordinate time interval and the proper time interval are equivalent. So we write here that due to of this implies ds dash is equals to dt, and we give this as a equation number 5 is complete, so equation number 6. Now this equation 5, because ds dash equals to dt, therefore equation 5, we substitute the value of dt here in equation 5. So we have equation 5 and 6 implies ds is equals to under root of 1 minus twice m upon capital R. Dt is nothing but our ds dash. Now this implies that ds upon ds dash is equals to 1 minus twice m upon R, and under root means to the power half. We give this as equation number 7. Now from the equation 3, we have nu ds is equals to nu dash ds dash. So ds upon this ds dash is equals to nu dash upon nu. So we write from equation 3 and 7, we get nu dash upon nu is equals to 1 minus twice m upon R to the power half. Since from this equation 3, we have ds upon ds dash is equals to nu dash upon nu. Okay, using this we substituted ds upon ds dash as nu dash upon nu in bracket this term. Okay, now we denote delta of nu. What is nu is here? Nu is frequency. So if delta of nu is nothing but then change in a frequency. Now we have to define the redshift, and for the redshift we require the change in a frequency. So the change in a frequency is the light rays are coming from the sun, that is emitting from the sun with a frequency nu, and it is reaching to the earth with a frequency nu dash. So change in a frequency is nu dash minus nu, right? Now the delta nu is equals to this, then the ratio, that is delta nu upon nu is equals to, so delta nu upon nu gives us nu dash minus nu upon nu. So solving this we get nu dash upon nu minus nu upon nu, that is 1. Okay, so nu dash upon nu, from this equation nu dash upon nu is 1 minus twice m upon capital R to the power half. So this is equals to 1 minus twice m upon capital R to the power half minus 1. Now we can expand this by using the binomial expansion. So this is equals to 1 minus 1 upon 2 twice m upon R minus and so on minus 1. So this 2 get cancelled. So it is 1 minus 1 and minus 1 get cancelled. So we have this is equals to minus m upon R, and we neglect the terms which is in the higher power. So this is equals to only minus m upon R. So therefore delta nu upon nu, that is change in a frequency upon original frequency, is equals to minus m upon R, and we give this as a equation number 8. And we use the formula, that the expansion formula is that the binomial expansion formula for this is 1 minus x to the power n equals to 1 plus, or we can say 1 upon n is equals to 1 plus nx plus n into n plus 1 upon 2 factorial into x square plus n into n minus 1 into n plus 1 into n plus 2 upon 3 factorial x cube plus and so on. Use this formula to solve the expansion that we give us here, and we get that minus m upon r. Okay, so this is a formula for the binomial expansion. Now what it says, thus this equation 8 is the required formula for our redshift. This is a required formula for redshift, and negative sign shows that the frequency of light is decreases because the ratio change in a frequency upon nu, that is original frequency. This is a negative sign is here. Okay, and thus we are saying that here the frequency is decreases as it leaves the sun. That is, when the light rays are leaving from the sun, then its frequency decreases, and which gives us the wavelength is increases, and the wavelength is increases, then it is increases to the, that is the light rays are reached to the red end of the spectrum, and therefore we say that there is a red shift in the spectral line of the spectrum. And it seems that the atom of the sun were vibrating in a slow motion. That is, they are vibrating very slowly when we observe from the earth. And the predicted value of the redshift, that is the frequency del nu upon nu for the sun, is given by 2.12 into 10 to the power minus 6. And this value is very good agreement with the observational evidences. Okay, this were calculated by calculating the mass of the sun upon the radius of the sun, and calculating this value we get this. Okay, so thank you everyone.